totally familiar with the hat policy on campus, but I feel that students should be able to wear their hats, especially outside.
Really have much of an opinion with the hat policy. I do think that if students want to wear hats, you know, when they are sitting in class, it probably wouldn't hurt for them to take off the hat. But I guess I really only feel like that just because that was the rule when I was in school.
The issue we chose to work on was the current hat policy we have at ACHS High. The hat policy is we cannot wear any hats or visors or bandanas on school grounds. For our first civic action, we wanted a way to get the people's opinions, so we put up 2 Twitter polls. The first poll, we got 25 responses. 24 agreed that the hat policy should be changed. On the second Twitter poll, we got 31 responses. 23 people also agreed.
For our civic action number 3, we interviewed several faculty members on campus, including Mr. Wright, Mr. Finnefrock, Mr. Frina, and our new campus supervisor. Each of our interview faculty members responded to the same questions.
You know, I don't know. This is my first experience being at a high school site with a hat policy. It's something that was in place before I got here. So it's something I'm kind of monitoring this year and getting my thoughts on it. So I really don't necessarily have an opinion either way.
And but I think it's would be good if they took them off when they were in the classroom.
I think it's a great policy, and I think it's a great policy, and I think there's a lot of reasons why I think it's great that I don't think that students always know and understand. So I think it's important for students to know and understand what the policy is.
What is the threat of a hat?
The hat rule. Number one thing that is important for us is it's important for us to know who's walking onto our campus.
For Civic Action 3, we interviewed a couple students on campus to see what they felt about the current hat policy on campus. The results from both students were that they wish to have hats on campus.
I don't like it. I like wearing hats usually on cold days. Now since we're in the winter, it's really good to have hats.
What do you think the threat is of having hats on campus?
I don't think there's a threat at all.
Do you think it's fair for students to be able to wear hats out on the quad, but once they enter a building, they have to take the hat off?
Well, I mean, in classroom, it's kind of reasonable to take a hat off in class, but, you know, like when you're walking to class, I still think, you know, there's not a problem with having hats on.
Well, I think that the current hat policy is unfair because you can't wear hats even outside of the buildings.
What do you think the threat is of having hats on campus?
What I think is that they're trying to protect us from intruders on campus, but it's kind of pointless because even they say that our spirit weeks we're allowed to wear hats on campus, so they can. It defeats the purpose because if there were to be an intruder, they can just as well intrude the school on a spirit week because they're allowed to wear hats. If that's the point that they're trying to get across.
Okay. Do you think it's fair for students to be able to wear hats outside of campus, such as like the quad or just walking around, but once they enter a building, they must take the hat off?
Yeah, I think that's fair, and I'd agree with that.
If hats were allowed on campus, would you support it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would.
All right.